Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you are well. I'm excited to be here. All right, we will give a few seconds for people to come on in. Come in, come in, come in, come in. I am Esha, Carnivalista in Chief with the Carnivalista Lifestyle. And thank you to Miss Tashana for having this fabulous author spotlight. I've definitely been enjoying all of the videos so far and hearing some more about all of you who are fellow authors in the book. So, in the group. So, that has been a lot of fun. I am fresh off the plane almost from St. Lucia. I was actually in St. Lucia for 2 weeks. I just got back on Saturday and have been back in the office barely half a week and, trying to get back into things. As you all know, when you travel, it is a welcome disruption, but yet it is still a disruption, especially when you are self-employed. So, yes, back in the US, back to a lot of going on in the US, but St. Lucia was amazing. I was actually there for their Caribbean Carnival. So, in case you do not know what Caribbean Carnival is, it is those street parades that you see with loads of feathers, lots of music, lots of energy, people dancing, having a great time. So I was on St. Lucia doing all of that. Yes. So it was great. I believe I shared a beach video with you all last week, and that was actually the sunset at the end of one of the days of parading and jumping up in the streets. It was absolutely lovely. St. Lucia was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We got to spend some time in the rainforest at another hotel. We had two different locations that we were at in St. Lucia. And when I say we, I was with our clients with Events by Ashe, which is another side of my business outside of Carnivalista Lifestyle, where I take, wonderful women and men to experience the Caribbean carnival culture. So we were doing all of that in St. Lucia. Anyway, all of that to say, I come back. I'm here, safe and sound. Thank you. Knock on wood, especially after all of the flight disruptions that happened last week, too. We actually have one client who is still in St. Lucia. Unfortunately, she flew with Delta and she got completely canceled. And hopefully she will be back on Friday. So she's there another week. And there are worse places that you could get stuck, right? St. Lucia is really not that bad. So I could get stuck in St. Lucia and that would be wonderful. So she's there for a week, but all of our other clients are back in the US safe and sound, thankfully. But anyway, all of that to say that is not what I came on here to talk about today. Well, you know I love to talk. So I already introduced myself. I am talking about this little book here. So you have to pardon the condition of this book, okay? This is my book, my second book actually, Carnivalista Lifestyle. My first book was a anthology, as they say, was a collection of other authors and myself. But this is my second book. I am an international best-selling author. And this is the Carnivalista Lifestyle. And this is actually my draft copy from way back in 2018. It can tell lots of tales, right? There's lots of, I don't know if you could see that, all of the air marking and bookmarking of things. It's, marked up and written in. But this was the first. This was the first, my first draft copy. So I thought I would share that with you all. So anyway, Carnivalista Lifestyle. Why did I write this book? So I have been involved in the Caribbean carnival culture for over a quarter of a century. Let's just put it that way. Yes, I look younger than I am. And I really had the idea for this book for a really, really, really long time. And it was kind of on the back burner. I think at that time I did not believe that I could be an author. I had an idea for a book, but I was like, authors are people who are, they're just other people. They're just not me. And probably around 2016, 2017, actually probably a little bit earlier than that, it started coming more to the forefront, I guess, as I was running my Events by Ashe business and, taking more and more people to experience Caribbean carnivals and seeing the joy on their faces when they experience Caribbean carnivals and just having a really great time. I thought, this book could be a thing. It could be something that incorporates, the Caribbean carnival culture and growing up Caribbean, as I like to call it. My mom and my dad are Trini. They're from Trinidad and Tobago. And, I learned so many Caribbeanisms growing up over the years. And, some lessons were easier to learn than others. Some were really, really hard, coming into adulthood. But I thought there was a way to put all of that together into something, and that this is the result of that. The subtitle is Joyous Self-Development for Hardworking Professionals and Entrepreneurs, because I wanted to do something for that group of people. I consider myself to be hardworking. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. So I really wanted to speak to that audience and share, the life lessons that I've learned. So that is the Carnivalista Lifestyle, or at least the book anyway. And it is a short read. I didn't want something that was going to be so overly involved that it was too much. Like, I didn't want a novel like this thick or anything. I don't think my life is that interesting to write a novel this thick anyway, but I didn't want it to be a big book. I wanted it to be a short book. And I also, because I journal a lot myself, and that is a huge part of my own self-development, and it's also part of my own self-care. I am a Scorpio. All the Scorpios in the house, definitely comment below. Yeah, I wanted something that people could journal. You could read, reflect, and write. Read, reflect, and write. Read, laugh, reflect, and life. Because honestly, this book, there's a lot of stories in here. Even though it's this skinny, there's a lot of stories in here that I am sharing that are absolutely hilarious. So anyway, so it's definitely part book. There's definitely stuff for you to read. There's also lots of room for you to journal. And I'll just show you the journal pages. And they're at the end of every single chapter, I might add. So, the prompts are, what are the feelings you experience while reading this chapter? What are the lessons you have learned? So what taking, after reading each chapter and kind of saying, okay, how did I get that in my own life? And also, how are you going to apply these lessons to your own life, your own routine? What will be your new adventures, trips, hobbies, new friends, destinations, new skills? And this is like an idea page where you can kind of just go ahead and jot down any ideas that come to you. So I really, really wanted it to be something that, a piece of work that you would read and you would learn, but you would also write. And when you write things, I'm a huge proponent of journaling. If you are not, I highly encourage you to get into it, because when you write things, it strengthens the connection of your learning. It strengthens the connection from hand to brain to thought process to subconscious. Like, there's just so many benefits for journaling and writing things down. So yeah, I really wanted it to be that, and that's what it really turned out to be. Talk about intention. So let me read a little bit from the book, and this is specifically about the Carnivalista lifestyle, because if you've heard the term Carnivalista, you're like, what does that mean? Then this is what Carnivalista lifestyle is. To me, it's embracing all aspects of life fully with both arms and experiencing it all through amazing travel, great food, lots of laughter, and infectious, danceable soca music. Now, if you don't know what soca music is, it is basically the soundtrack of any Caribbean carnival that you go to. And mainly Eastern Caribbean, I would say. There are some exceptions. Of course, Jamaica Carnival, they will play soca music there. But, Puerto Rican Carnival is different. There's a few islands where their carnivals are not rooted in soca music. But it is a very infectious, danceable type of music. I call it the happiest music in the world. When you're listening to soca music, you just can't help but smile and move something, move some part of your body, whether it's your hips or your hands in the air or your feet, you just cannot sit still, So that is definitely one of the, that is what the Carnivalista lifestyle is. And I continue here where I say, soca music inspires me to keep going and stay persistent, even when things aren't going well. This genre of music brings me so much joy and fuels my Carnivalista lifestyle that I have had over the years. As I said, it's been over a quarter of a century. Still can't believe it's been that long that I've been going to Caribbean carnivals. But that is just a little snippet from the book. So, what I really want to talk about today, I want to talk about the book, yes. And I will definitely put the link in the chat to purchase your own copy. Of course, it's on Amazon. You can purchase hard copy. You can purchase Kindle if you like that as well. I'm thinking about doing an audiobook. I may. If I find the time one of these days, I will. But what I really want to talk about today is direct from one of the chapters in the book, and it's about being a late bloomer. So I consider myself to be a late bloomer. I went through adolescence quite late for a woman. I was flat as a board, flat chested, pretty much until I was 15 or 16 years old. That's when I went through my, let's say, our womanly cycle or whatever. That's when I had my change, which was late. I was the last of all of my friends to develop. So I definitely consider myself to be a late bloomer from a developmental perspective. But also, I consider myself to be a late bloomer because I came to a lot of the milestones in life later than many other women, just in general, I think. I got married quite late in life. I was well into my 30s when I got married. I also had my son very late in life. I had my son at 39. That was the advanced maternal age or whatever the term is that they use. But yeah, I experienced a lot of milestones in life a lot later in life than my peers or just women, just other women in general. And earlier in my 20s, I felt a ways about that, right? I can't even lie. I felt a ways about that, especially developing much later than, my friends. And, many got married in their 20s, or had kids in their 20s. And that was just not where I was. I was busy enjoying my life, traveling, doing this, doing that, developing my career. So those were just things that didn't happen for me at that time. And I felt a ways about it. But as I got older, I became very appreciative of being a late bloomer. And this is why. Because I feel there are so many timelines that are enforced on us as women. You need to have children in your 20s, or you need to find a man and settle down, or find a partner and settle down in your 20s. I feel these are timelines that are enforced on us as women, things, and not so much things that are career driven, but more in terms of social and societal standards. So, marriage, kids, family standards. I feel those are things that are really enforced upon us as women. Through society, even through our own circles, it's odd for you to be 37, at least back then when I was 37, and not be married, not have a child at that point as a Black woman. So I feel there's so many timelines that are enforced on us as women. And here's what I want to say to you today. When you get the book, you will know this, but here's what I want to say to you today. Screw the timelines. Throw out all of the timelines, okay? Seriously. In my own personal circle of family and friends, I've just seen so many things that have happened. Like, for example, my own grandmother got married after she retired for the first time in her life, and found somebody at that point who she was able to share her life, the last half of her life with. I actually have two older women who were married after 65 for the first time in their life. There's just so many things that I've seen in my circle, and finding happiness and finding what you really, really, really want to do can happen for you at any age. And it's true. Right? So screw the timelines, throw them out of the window, throw out whatever you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to look like, what you are supposed to be working on, what you're supposed to be thinking about. Throw it all out, because from the time you say supposed to do or supposed to think or supposed to act, that is somebody else's version of you and somebody else's version of your life. And if writing this book has taught me anything, is that screw it. Throw out all the timelines, because I consider myself to be a proud late bloomer in life. There are many things that didn't come to me when they were supposed to. And that is perfectly okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? Finding love, career success, becoming a millionaire, becoming an author, becoming an entrepreneur, a business owner, successful business owner, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you desire to do. I'm starting to use the word desire instead of want, just because I like how it feels in my body, but that's another story for another day. Whatever it is you desire to do, you can do it at any point in your life. Are you 65? Are you 70? Yes, sis, you can do it. Are you 30? Are you 21 and you're thinking about, starting your business, but you're thinking you don't have this, that, and the other? Yes, you can do it. Whatever you desire to do, you can do it. So throw out all of the timelines. And that's really what was on my heart to talk about today. I actually do have a chapter in the book that is named this, and it's called, I think it is called Being a Late Bloomer and Why That's Okay. But let me read out the title because I actually like the title. It's okay to be late to the party. And it also says late bloomer in parentheses. But it's okay to be late to the party because the party is yours. At the end of the day, the party is yours. Your party, right? So you can show up whatever time you want to show up, whenever you want to show up, doing whatever you want, wearing whatever you want, feeling however you want, because it's all yours. All right? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. And I hope you catch the replay. Definitely, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you a late bloomer like me? Did you do things late in life? Or are you still working on them? Let me know what's going on. Leave me a comment in the chat. And thank you so much for watching today. Thank you, Mr. Shauna, for giving us the opportunity to talk about our wonderful books. And I'm learning so much from all of you. So please keep going through this month of July so I can keep watching and I can keep learning more about all of you in this group because it has been so enjoyable so far. In any case, hugging you up. Hope you have a great day. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to put in the chat. If you would like to get your free guide, because I do have a free guide. Of course, I want you to buy the book, right? But if you want a free guide, you can. And the guide is called 3 Keys to Living a Life of More. And I'll put the website in here. It's on my website. You can sign up for free. .net. Yes, just doing a little proofreading there, making sure that it's okay. If you want to get a free guide, and it's called Your 3 Keys to Living a Life of More. And it's a free training, and it has an accompanying checklist with it. You know me and my checklists, and writing, yes. You can go to my website and you can sign up for that guide for free. Of course, I would love for you to purchase the book, but it is there. It is free. 3 Keys to Living a Life of More. And I hope you have a fabulous day. As always, I will see you in the next video.